Yo, yo, yo. I guess I'll go through this neighborhood real quick. It is me again. I figured today I would talk about what happened to my arm. You guys usually, I doubt you guys have seen it, like the scar itself, but sometimes you might notice it in my movements, you know, when I'm moving my arms around, whether it be the shadow or where my hand ends up. Basically, let's see, I want to say 13 or so. Yeah, I did a lot of stupid shit at that age. I'm trying to go into neutral here so I can fix my glove or fix my jacket. But anyways, I used to race BMX, and I went out one day riding my bicycle, my race bike, and never changed my racing tires, which were pretty aggressive knobs, to my street tires, which had a less aggressive pattern. And my front tire slid off a curb and ended up in a gutter, which sent me over the handlebars, and I landed with my arm out like this. And when I did, I broke every bone in there. My first broken bone, and I did it right. See if I can remember them right. The radius, which is what goes from your shoulder down to your elbow. The ulna, which is like your forearm bone, and the humerus. I broke every one of them in one shot, and it took 2 surgeries. I've got 2 plates and 8 screws in there, and it limits the range of motion I have with my elbow, my left elbow. So sometimes when I'm trying to do something, like in a video where the guy was talking on his phone, somebody said, stop pointing at the camera. Well, I wasn't pointing at my camera. It's just you pair the fact that I've got limited range of motion with my left elbow to begin with, and then put the jacket on top of that limits me even more. So that's what goes on there. And I also rolled across my helmet and separated my spine enough that a nerve got stuck in there, so I got to keep cracking my neck. I'll feel pressure build up, and I got to crack my neck to relieve the pressure. If I don't, after a while, I start coughing so bad I can't breathe. So, like I say, I did things right the first time. But yeah, that's why my left arm, I've got limited motion. I've got the 2 plates and 8 screws in there. I used to have a couple pins as well, but the pins started working their way out, and we're actually getting ready to punch through the skin again, and they took them out, but they cannot remove the plates and screws because my bones have encased them, and they would have to cut away a good portion of the bones in order for them to take that out. Oh, here we are again, leaving work. Today it's about about 1:45. Thankfully, I came out there with 3 cops over there. Well, 2 sheriffs and city cop. And I really didn't want one of them getting me. Oh, my seat's wet. But I don't know if I'm recording. Yeah, I'm recording. But it's getting I don't have to be in until 9 tomorrow night, thankfully. But I was talking about my arm before I was going into work, and my wife called. But yeah, they can't take the plates out because my bones have encased them, and they'd have to cut away too much of the bone to get to them. And my arm would never be the same. When I first had the surgery done, my arm was in like a half cast. You know, it was like half of it was hard, the rest of it was like basically gauze and an ace bandage. Well, they when they took it out of that to put me in like this physical therapy kind of arm deal to work on getting some mobility back. Hang on. But when they took it out of that thing, I felt weird. I was holding my arm because it had atrophied so much that my arm was like literally like that big around. I mean, it was small. And it was just weird. And then they put me in that brace deal, and I had to switch this little round thing over, you know, different directions because you know, when it was set one way, the springs would pull. Thought I saw. I'm seeing things, but it would pull my arm straight, and then if it was set the other way, it would pull it, you know, back into like a bend. And those, they did all right. I mean, I've got, it's up to about 80% mobility, 85% mobility, somewhere in that area. I still cannot straighten it completely. And I can't bend it all the way up like my other arm. I can barely touch my shoulder with my fingertips with that arm. And then, like I said, you add onto it the jacket, the restriction motions of the riding jacket, you know, the leather with the armor and that. And it makes that arm a little bit more or less movable. But I just figured I'd share that. And if you guys want to hear some more, one week I talked about why my memory's so bad. Now I'm telling you about my elbow. If you want to hear about some more injuries, let me know. I mean, I've beaten my body up through my life. Just too many years of riding hard and abusing myself, and it puts a toll on your body. So, like I said, if you want to hear some more stories and get a better idea, or you know some more damage, just let me know, and hell, I might do it anyways. But you know, yeah, there we go.